Show me Ventress. I really wish I could do a good impression of this lady's voice because it's awesome. I can't, so I'm not going to try. But we're opening, well, what is she here? VC 364, Asajj Ventress from the Clone Wars. Now, I'll be the first to admit I made a mistake when they initially announced this figure. I just kind of thought it was like not quite a repackage, but at least a substantial reuse of the Clone Wars Ventress figure from like 15 or 16 years ago. Like I just didn't look that closely. And as I've said before, I'm not good at tracking part reuse and stuff like that. I was wrong. Like that figure is an animated style Ventress. It, from what I can tell, is a completely different tooling set. This is either an entirely new figure or a figure that makes such cunning use of its reuse that I don't really know what it would be. This is, and as is the Vintage Collection's way, this is a realistic take on the character, whereas the Clone Wars figure was an animated style take. So like same outfit, same look for the character, but this is a pretty brand spanking new Ventress, which is kind of cool. If you got the Vintage Collection Dooku, I did not, but if you did, I bet they're gonna look real nice side by side. Let's open her up. Out she pops. I don't really know where I'm going to put her on the shelf since I don't really have a Clone Wars area, and she's not really a Disney Plus character, and she certainly ain't going to go in the sale barge, so who knows? Maybe she gets a breakout area all her own. What I think I will do is I'll get my Barriss Offee and maybe Luminara and maybe Ayla. They re-released those 3 in Clone Wars cards a few years ago. I got all those. They all look terrific. And kind of, again, they all come from the same design universe. Very similar style, very similar use of the soft goods on this figure to give, I just looked up her skirts, to give Ventress her skirt there. This is not quite the fine, very, very fine soft goods they've been using on some cloaks lately. It's a little bit thicker, but that's good because it gives it a bit of body. Look at that. It's just holding a position there. So I think that's going to be a lot more easily positioned and posed. Not in love with the face sculpt. I mean, again, I've said it on every one of these this month, but when it comes to animated characters, I really don't mind them going more animated style, or at least more stylized. I recognize that that's what a person looks like, but it's not quite what I imagine Ventress would look like in real life, which is a very dangerous game to play because I think we all have very different impressions of what that would be like. But yeah, now that they've got this figure, now that this sculpt exists and some of these parts exist, man, it would be great to see Ventress from the Bad Batch, see the bounty hunter, and also I guess she was in Tales of the Underworld. Blonde hair, yellow lightsaber, bounty hunter look, because that was a really nice look for the character. And I mean, Ventress is she's the character that keeps on giving, man. I mean, I don't remember if Lucas actually invented her or if it was just Ian McCaig trying desperately on episodes 1 and 2 to convince Lucas that there should be a female Sith Lord. I can't really remember the backstory on Ventress, but this is one of these stupid throwaway ideas from like 25 years ago that has just stood the test of time, largely because, of course, of Dave Filoni, who in the Clone Wars fleshed her out in a really meaningful way and gave her a very compelling story. And there have been plenty of other writers, Katie Lucas, all kinds of folks, but yeah, man, like just keeps on going, has kind of become a core Star Wars character in spite of herself. So very happy to finally have this. Before I forget, her lightsabers. She comes with 2, both lit and unlit, and they do fit together comme ça. So she can double blade it and then split them apart. Now, the only thing you're not gonna like about the split them apart mode is that there is a little bit of red plastic sticking out the butt end of one of them, which I think that should be painted, right? That should be silver. I might paint it myself, honestly. But otherwise, that's a pretty cool feature. That, again, goes straight back. That design idea is decades old. Well done. And she has the same broad style of lightsaber, curved hilt, as her master, Count Dooku, so that's pretty cool. Unlit hilts. And where in the hell do they go on that figure? Would you believe? Straight into her belt buckle. Badass. That's just great. Now I got a real conundrum is, do I pose her with the blades lit or with the unlit ones in the belt to complete the look? I might have to buy another one, don't know. Okay, there you go. There's your stone cold assassin Ventress, ready to come and get you. Nice work on that one. Can't wait to find out if those foot pegs are any good, because I'm going to have her in some deep stance. You know what? This is a review video. Let's find out. I was saying I'm going to have her in some deep stances, which of course requires peg holes to be deep enough to hold a pose. Holy crap. I think that might actually, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's certainly strong enough to do it. Not all the way flush like the old days, but not a non-hole like the Bad Batch figures. That's your Ventress, everybody. Thanks for watching. Let me know when you get yours, and I'll see you in the next video.